Someone recently asked me about love, about partnership, about finding the one. Strange question for someone like me, right? The guy obsessed with Mars, with technology, with reshaping humanity's future. Romance and rockets don't usually share the same sentence. But I sat with that question and I realized something profound. The world has made love so loud, so dramatic, so filled with filters and performances and manufactured fairy tales. And maybe that's why when I finally asked the deepest question about my future wife, I didn't ask the world. I asked something higher. I asked God. And the answer I received, it didn't just change my perspective, it changed my entire life. And today I'm going to share that answer with you. You can call me Elon the Seeker. Listen closely, Elon the Seeker here. Stop what you're doing. Put down the phone, close the other tabs. I'm not being dramatic. I need you to genuinely pause. Stop the endless swiping. Stop the mental checklist of what you think you need in a partner. Stop the noise. Because what I'm about to share with you is going to challenge everything you've been taught about love, about partnership, about finding your person. And I need you to truly absorb it. You've been asking the wrong question. Yes, that question. The one you've been asking for years. Where is my person? Why haven't I found them yet? What's wrong with me? Am I not attractive enough? Successful enough? Interesting enough? You've been standing at the altar of dating apps, of social events, of setups from well-meaning friends, asking the universe, when will you send me the one? But here's what I discovered. That question, that desperate seeking, it was rooted in the wrong programming. Let's speak honestly as truth seekers. The cultural conditioning we've all absorbed about love and partnership, it has fundamentally failed us. It told us that finding a partner is like finding a missing puzzle piece, that there's someone out there who will complete you. That love is about finding someone who checks all the boxes on your list. That romance is supposed to feel like fireworks and butterflies and constant euphoria. But it didn't tell you about the emptiness of finding someone who checks every box but doesn't touch your soul. It didn't tell you about the loneliness of being in a relationship where you're physically together but spiritually alone. It didn't warn you about the exhaustion of performing, of trying to be the perfect partner while losing yourself in the process. It didn't prepare you for the heartbreak of realizing that the person you chose because they look good on paper doesn't actually see the real you. You've cried in confusion. You've felt unworthy. You've wondered if true partnership even exists. And I'm here to tell you, I understand it. I understand the nights you questioned your value. I understand the relationships that ended and left you wondering what you did wrong. I understand the moments you looked at happy couples and wondered why it seemed so easy for them and so impossible for you. I understand the times you compromised your truth because you were afraid of being alone. This is what matters. For years, we've been programmed to believe that those feelings, the longing, the disappointment, the fear of never finding your person, were evidence that something was wrong with you. That's false. The great psychologist Carl Jung spent his life proving one fundamental truth. You don't find your other half. You become whole first. He taught that what you seek is not completion from another person. What you seek is recognition of your own completeness reflected back to you. Love isn't about finding someone to fill your emptiness. Love is about two whole people choosing to build something greater together. And you, my friend, have been searching in the noise when the answer lives in the silence. You've been asking everyone except the one source that actually knows. So hear me when I say this, and let it penetrate every layer of loneliness. The question isn't, where is my person? The question is, who must I become to recognize and receive my person when they arrive? Because here's what I learned when I asked God about my future wife. The answer wasn't a description. It wasn't a checklist. It wasn't, she'll be this tall, this career, this personality type. The answer was a mirror. God showed me myself. And what I saw changed everything. So let's talk about this revelation and framework you can actually use. In your old understanding, finding a partner was about searching externally. It was about presenting the best version of yourself, about marketing yourself, about hoping someone would choose you. That framework is obsolete. You've been operating from scarcity, from fear, from the belief that love is a limited resource and you need to compete for it. The new framework is abundance. The new framework says this: your future partner is not lost. They're being prepared. And simultaneously, you are being prepared for them. But this preparation isn't about becoming more attractive or more successful or more interesting. This preparation is about becoming more yourself, more aligned with your truth, more connected to your purpose, more whole in your own existence. But let's be analytical. Let's examine what happens the moment you shift from searching to becoming. A new kind of clarity emerges. The ancient wisdom says this: what God has for you is for you. No one can take it, and you cannot lose it by being yourself. This is a revolutionary truth, and in our practical world, this means something profound. The right person for you is not someone you need to perform for. The right person for you will recognize you when you're being authentically you. This is why the new framework requires a new sacred practice. It's not about creating the perfect dating profile, it's about creating internal alignment. The ancient wisdom gives us brilliant guidance. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Let me translate this for you. When you align yourself with your highest purpose, with your deepest truth, with the calling that makes you feel most alive, the person meant to walk that path with you will naturally appear. This is the Oprah principle applied to love. Oprah has spoken many times about her relationship with Stedman. She said that the reason it works is not because he completes her. It works because they are two complete individuals who choose each other daily. She didn't find him when she was desperately searching. She found him when she was deeply immersed in building her purpose. The relationship works not because they need each other, but because they enhance each other. This is your new assignment. When you feel that pull toward someone, when an attraction emerges, when a potential relationship presents itself, you must stop and ask the alignment question. Is this person calling me toward my highest self or toward a smaller version of me? Does this connection inspire me to be more authentic or to perform? Am I attracted to who they actually are or to who I hope they'll become? Does this relationship serve my purpose or distract from it? You see, the old programming chases connection at any cost. The new programming honors selective connection. The old programming is desperate to not be alone. The new programming understands that being alone in your truth is far superior to being coupled in performance. You don't owe anyone access to your heart just because they're interested. You don't owe anyone a relationship just because they check some boxes. You owe yourself sacred selectivity. So if that's the new framework, you must be asking, why did I have to experience so much heartbreak to understand this? Why were the failed relationships necessary? Let's debug the romantic past. Let's analyze the pain. This is where most people remain stuck. You look back at the relationships that ended, the connections that disappointed, the person who betrayed you, the one who left, the one you left, and you call it wasted time. You look at that history and call it failure. That's a malfunction in your old programming. That's the obsolete system keeping you trapped in regret. Let's debug that immediately. The ancient wisdom states, every closed door is protection, every no is redirection. Let me translate this. The relationships that ended weren't failures. They were education. The heartbreak wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Every person who wasn't right for you was teaching you what you actually need. Every disappointment was clarifying your non-negotiables. Every betrayal was showing you what you will never accept again. Failure in love is not a verdict, it's data. The heartbreak you experienced wasn't punishment. It was training. The relationships that ended weren't abandonment, they were redirection. You didn't fail at that relationship. That relationship was an experiment that completed its cycle and taught you precisely what you will and won't tolerate in partnership. That's valuable data. You didn't fail at choosing wrong. You learned exactly what drains your spirit and what nourishes your soul in a partner. That's critical information. You're not broken by the romantic trauma. You've been refined by it. You have an intimate understanding of what authentic partnership requires that people who've never been hurt can never possess. This is the most important data set about yourself you'll ever own. Like a rocket, you cannot reach a new destination without burning the previous fuel. All that heartbreak, all those failed connections, that was the propellant. It wasn't wasted. It was all used to transport you here to this exact moment of readiness for your true partner. When I asked God about my future wife, one of the things shown to me was this. She won't arrive to save you from your loneliness. She'll arrive to celebrate your wholeness. That hit me like a freight train. because I realized I've been approaching partnership from brokenness. I've been thinking, when I find her, then I'll be complete, then I'll be happy, then my life will make sense. But God showed me, no. First you become complete. First you become aligned. First you step into your full purpose, and then she'll recognize you. And you'll recognize her. Because you'll both be operating from wholeness, not from need. Look at the data. Look at the great partnerships throughout history. Michelle and Barack Obama, she talks about how they work because they're both individually strong. Ruth Bader Ginsburg and her husband Marty. Their partnership thrived because they supported each other's individual purposes. Johnny Cash and June Carter. Their love was powerful because they helped each other become better versions of themselves, not different versions. This is the shift. You must stop looking at your single season as a waiting room. It's not a waiting room, it's preparation. It's not punishment, it's refinement. Every day you spend becoming more yourself, more aligned, more purposeful, you're not wasting time. You're becoming ready. And simultaneously, your person is becoming ready too. Let's dismantle the single most damaging piece of programming about partnership. It's the lie that says you're running out of time. It's the lie that whispers your biological clock is ticking. It's the lie that claims if you haven't found them by a certain age, something is wrong with you. This is not only false. It is a strategically deployed weapon designed to make you settle, designed to make you choose from fear rather than from alignment. The ancient wisdom has a beautiful promise. What is meant for you will not pass you by. Let's examine the logic of that. Your person is not going to miss you. Your person is not going to choose someone else. Your person is being prepared to recognize you, and you're being prepared to recognize them. But this recognition only happens when you're both operating from your authentic selves, not from your desperate selves. The system will show you engagement announcements and try to tell you you're behind. The system is wrong. The system measures by timeline. God measures by readiness. Let's look at the case studies. Let's look at people who found their right partner, not when they were desperately searching, but when they were deeply aligned. Case study 1, Vera Wang, she married at 40. Before that, she had relationships that didn't work. The old programming says she wasted her 30s. That's false. She spent her 30s becoming who she needed to be. When she met her partner, she wasn't desperate. She was established. She was whole. She chose from clarity, not from fear. Case study 2, Samuel L. Jackson. He met his wife LaTanya in college, but they didn't marry until years later. They've spoken about how he had to get sober first, had to face his demons, had to become the man worthy of the partnership. The timing wasn't about age. It was about readiness. Case study 3, Jeff Bridges. He met his wife at 27, but says he almost let her go because he was scared. Then he realized she was seeing the real him, and that terrified him because he wasn't sure the real him was enough. The moment he accepted himself, he was able to accept her love. Vera Wang at 40, Samuel L. Jackson after sobriety, Jeff Bridges after self-acceptance. In every case, the right partnership arrived not when they were searching hardest, but when they were being most authentic. Their past relationships weren't failures. They were preparation. Their single seasons weren't wasted time. They were necessary development. This is the promise of your right partnership. The person you've been praying for, the connection you thought was never coming, it's not lost. It's being prepared. It's waiting for you to accumulate enough self-knowledge, enough wholeness, enough alignment to recognize it and receive it properly. What you once saw as delay is actually divine timing. So now you understand the framework, right? Partnership comes from wholeness, not from neediness. You have the data. Your past taught you what you actually need. What is the new operating system required to attract this partnership? You have the framework. The right partnership emerges from wholeness. You have the asset. Your relationship history is valuable data. What is the new operating system you need to run this program? When OS was seeking, it was swiping. It was defined by searching externally, by presenting a curated version of yourself, by hoping someone would validate you. That OS is obsolete. It will repel your right partner. Why? Because your right partner isn't looking for your performance. They're looking for your truth. The ancient wisdom states it perfectly, be still and know. Let me translate this for relationships. The stillness is not giving up on love. The stillness is ceasing the desperate external search and beginning the profound internal alignment. The knowing is not about knowing who your partner will be. The knowing is about knowing who you are. Because when you deeply know yourself, you'll recognize the person who truly sees you. The new operating system for attracting your right partnership is intentional authenticity. This may be the hardest part. Why? Because the old system taught you to perform. The old system thrives on you presenting a filtered version. It needs you to keep swiping, keep performing, keep second-guessing yourself so that you never have the confidence to wait for what you actually deserve. Authenticity is not passive. It is not doing nothing. Authenticity is a radical act of self-respect. It is the most powerful thing you can do to attract your right partner. It is the act of showing up as exactly who you are and trusting that the person meant for you will recognize and celebrate that. So here is your new protocol, your new daily practice. I'm not asking you to stop dating. I'm asking you to stop performing. The authenticity protocol, every day before you engage with potential partners, before you swipe, before you go on dates, you will sit with yourself. A journal. A quiet moment. That's it. You are not creating a strategy to attract someone. You're getting clear on who you actually are. You'll ask yourself these questions. What makes me feel most alive? What are my non-negotiables in partnership? What am I absolutely not willing to compromise? What is my purpose, and how does partnership serve that purpose? What wounds am I still healing that I might project onto a partner? Am I seeking a partner or seeking validation? And in that quiet clarity, you will finally access your truth. You'll realize that the right partner won't be intimidated by your success. They'll celebrate it. The right partner won't ask you to dim your light. They'll stand in it with their own light. The right partner won't complete you. They'll complement you. That is the distinction you must understand. Completion suggests you're broken. Complementing suggests you're whole. And they're adding to that wholeness. When I asked God about my future wife, the final piece of the answer was this. She'll recognize your mission. And you'll recognize hers. And together, you'll build something neither of you could build alone. That's when I understood. Partnership isn't about romance in isolation. Partnership is about two aligned people creating compounded impact. It's about shared purpose. It's about building a life that matters together. The old seeking, the old desperate searching, it was all preparation. It was teaching you what you don't want so you'll recognize what you do want. It was breaking you open so you could rebuild yourself as whole. It was refining your understanding of love from fantasy to truth. The seeking phase is complete. The alignment phase has initiated. You're not behind schedule. You're right on time. You didn't fail at love. You're being prepared for the real thing. You're not going to miss your person. They're coming. They'll arrive exactly when you're ready to receive them. Not a moment sooner. Not a moment later. Now go. Let your heart stay open. Let your truth stay visible. Let your standards stay high. And let your faith stay strong. Your person is being prepared. And you are being prepared for them. Welcome to your season of alignment. You have all the clarity. The first step is to honor it. What is the first truth about yourself that you've been hiding in relationships? What is the one non-negotiable you've been compromising? What is the authentic version of you that you're ready to stop apologizing for? Leave your answer in the comments below. Let's build this new understanding of love together. This conversation isn't theory. It's the beginning of your aligned partnership. If you're ready for real love, not performed love, this is where it starts.